to this computer. Yeah. So
Oh,
now, yeah,
yeah,
now it's
I've just got
recording.
this meeting's being recorded. Yeah. Wow, it's simple.
Well, it's so lovely to connect with you, and I've loved our conversation that we've been able to have and supporting each other with our coaching journey. So, I mean,
Same
I'd
thing.
love to continue that. That's amazing. And I'm really excited to have the opportunity to look at your values and continue the work that we started a couple of weeks ago now with
Yay, good.
the coaching workshop. And if I can remind you of some of the things that we spoke about. So when we looked at time and energy, the things that you felt that were most important to you were your business, parenting, education and professional development, your intimate relationship, and your health and development. From your inward thoughts, they were about parenting, business, financial security, intimate relationships, health and fitness. And conversations were business, parenting, intimate relationships, health, and friends.
Oh,
And
I've just got business, and then conversations was coaching next.
oh, was it? Okay, maybe I just
Oh,
wrote it down wrong. So, what do you have for
I have
conversations?
business for one, and then coaching for two, parenting for three, intimate relations for, and then health
Okay.
for five. Maybe it was one of the, maybe it was I was talking with friends, maybe around parent. It was some of these conversations were with friends, maybe, because that's what I'm thinking. That would definitely friends and with my partner, like all of those things we cover daily. Yeah, so
Awesome.
biz coaching, parenting, um, intimate relations, and health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Lovely. I'm glad that we were able to correct that one. All right, lovely. Well, I'm looking forward to unpacking the other areas. And we've talked a little bit about, in some of the other areas, about love or love learning. And I'm curious to see where that shows up even more in your life.
Mm. As in, what do I believe I really love learning?
Yeah.
Is that the question? Okay.
Yeah.
Um, well, I think definitely I'm pretty obsessed about personal development and all the everything we're doing with the school. That is absolutely, yeah. I think that's like foundational and fundamental in all aspects of life. So I love learning about. I guess to sum that up, it would be just how like people's brains work, like just yeah, I don't know how to sum it up. Like, so learning about human behavior. Is this human behavior and how you can optimize and enhance, or just feel like oneself. Like, how do you like just how does oneself feel they can navigate their lives in an optimum fashion? And you do that
Mm.
through like a lot of this work, the personal development journey. So I don't know how to
Mm.
some what that would be summed up as, like, so I guess it's personal development, but there's also like I love learning about relating, like just whether that's typically with like intimate relations, but also like how that plays out in friendships and in workships. And so I guess it's, I don't know, what would that come under, like
Mm.
like, is it
Well, if I
PD or
could
is it?
perhaps ask a clarifying question,
Okay,
um,
please.
which is why is understanding human behavior, why is that important to you? What does it give you?
Clarity.
Hmm.
Clarity, understanding, which I guess is clarity. What does it give me? It's fascinating. It's interesting. It gives me um, just learning about the insights help you navigate life. So it gives me, not power, that's probably the wrong word. It gives me, like, helps me leverage different areas of my life and also then share that. I love sharing those insights and the learnings with others. I think it is just human behavior, and I love learning about human behavior. I think that's, if I had to sum up, like, what is that? Because I guess this is what this whole journey of the things that we're learning is, human behavior and how that helps support people live life and feel good about their decisions. But I guess there's a few different areas. There's, like, maybe I need to break it down.
Let's start with you. What do you gain from this? What is it about the coaching and learning about human behavior? How does that impact you, and why is it important?
I think actually hitting it on the nail with that question is it's personal, because when I know this information around human relationships or human behavior, I feel that for me, I can navigate through my life feeling clarity. I guess it goes back to the first thing I said, which sometimes. So I think I love learning the most about, is personal development like a personal, I guess that is a meta value, personal development.
It is, but it's so much more. I'm just trying to dig a little bit further around. We're all, I would say generally, people are learning and growing, even if they're not conscious of it. But why are particular parts of personal development more prominent for you, and why are they important to you? If we were to dig deep, not just growing, but when you say clarity, what is it bringing you clarity of? And why is clarity important?
I guess clarity is important to me, so I understand and then I know how to behave in a situation without like in a appropriate way. So when I understand, I can choose the actions or my thoughts, my thinking, to feel clarity that, oh, okay, that makes sense, like, so it's to feel like clarity and peace, maybe. Like I do know that my internal locus of control is very, very high. That's like my signature. So I believe that it makes me really have a strong understanding of self. So for me, it's important because I want to understand me and my behaviors. And then at the same time, it gives me insights into how other people around me in my world operate and how then I choose to interact with them. That's going to make me feel at my core value, at my core peaceful and with clarity. So
is clarity, from what you're saying, is it paired with being knowledgeable?
I love to know about these. I love to know about human relationships and behaviors and thinking. So yeah, it's good to feel knowledgeable. I'm just trying to think what. Maybe I need to put them all down, like break them down and put them, a couple of them. I think the big one, the first one I love learning is I just want to be a good human. Like I just want to be like, just feel like like my internal and how I feel about myself, that's represented on the outside.
So self-concept. So
It's
good
like
human linking with self-concept?
like I love learning about myself but through, I'm just trying to think of an example. You know, like when I learned about limited beliefs,
Mm.
for like,
Mm.
years back, I was like, oh, okay, that's why I'm like this.
Mm.
And I now know I don't need to be like that because that was something that was put on me when I was a kid and it's not serving me. So I don't need to do that.
Mm.
And it's okay. Like when I have those kind of breakthroughs, I'm like, I just love that. And I just want to keep, absorbing
Mm.
that type of,
So
so
is
I
it
think,
self-discovery then?
yeah, self-discovery and self-learning, which is that
Mhm.
personal development?
It is, but development could be anything. It could be skill. It could be like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? It could be in so
Self,
many aspects of our life. But the part of it, of the self-development, personal development that you value
yeah.
is your self-discovery.
Yeah, the self-discovery, it's definitely, I think we have to have that one down. And I think then there'll be some offshoots from that of what I
Yeah,
like to learn.
awesome. Okay. And if we were to look at the outward part of that, which is the first part is discovery of self, and the other part that you talked about was supporting others.
Mm.
And why is that important to you?
I just want to help. Like, I'm just a helpful, I want to like add insights that may give somebody else a different point of view to give them what I love the most is self-discovery.
Mm.
So that's why when I know about self and how those different, whatever I'm learning about has affected me for the better or sometimes for the worst, if it's not positive, then I love to share that with others. And most of the time, it is to do with the relationship that someone has with themselves and then how that is like I talk about it all the time. Like it's probably something I'm talking about a lot. Like my girlfriend who's going through a separation again with her first husband, they've separated, this is the second time. You know, we talk a lot about her relationship with self before she thinks about how she's relating to him now in this stage of their life and how what her actions play out. And so, yeah, so I think relating, like just in general, I love to understand how the behavior, what's that like, relating behavior? I don't know. Has that got a,
Well, maybe part of it is, as you said, in your own self-discovery, you're supporting other people with their own self-discovery. So there's
and it's
two.
mainly to do with relating and self-love. Like a lot of it with my girlfriends is like self-love and like the boundaries, not just you've got to have a boundary with someone over here that you're having a relationship with. It might be your boss or your partner. It's about, are you giving that to yourself? Because if you're not, how can you expect others to give that to you when you're not even modeling that? Like I'm having these sort of conversations and I just love learning about that type of, work.
Beautiful. I
So
love that.
yeah, so I don't know what that would be like.
I think it just goes under that same heading, which is how within your self-discovery, part of that is around self-love and that supporting other people to go on that same journey
Yes.
so that they are also going through a process of self-discovery and consequently self-love. I mean, being the outcome.
I think number one should be self-discovery and self-love because I know that over the years I know I'm like this different version of me because of like
Mm.
the grace and compassion I've given myself to love myself and then the discovery I had to go through to be there. But then the next is I love learning how to give that to others. So sharing that, which I guess is why one of the reasons, I might be on this journey. So love learning about supporting and sharing. How does that get put down in the box?
The way I've written it is you'll love learning about how you help others with their self-discovery and self-love. So
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
that learning part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What else do you
I do that all the time.
what else do you love learning?
Oh, I love learning. I don't know if I love like I do love learning about it, but I know it's also important, the topic, which is parenting. But I know I feel a bit guilty at the moment that I'm doing all of this study, and I should actually be digging deep into a bit more parenting learning. But I do like, I've got the books and I've read the books and I'll listen. My son is, ADHD and, a little bit autistic, or Asperger's. I know I'm probably not calling it that now, but, he's sort of there a little bit. So I know I've done learning and I enjoy learning. Again, it's to support him and understand him and relate with him. So it's definitely something I love learning, but at the moment, it definitely has been taking a bit of a back burner with all of this stuff. But then I'm kind of thinking a lot of this I have actually been utilizing what some of the learnings I've had recently, like the coaching, almost like coaching him, but not coaching him, but being more. Thanks so much for sharing that, Arnie. I really enjoyed listening to, even if it's things in his world that, I'm like, oh my God, like
makes no sense to us.
makes no sense. Yes, I'm just trying to be in his world, like understand that his world is important. So I guess this stuff is absolutely helping with parenting. But yeah, I do enjoy learning about parenting and being a better parent because I take that responsibility like massively. And but again, being kind, that there's I don't want to be that mum that just loses my identity because I'm living my life through his life. Like I'm absolutely not that. I don't want to be like that. But yeah, so parenting, so that one's on there.
Awesome. And what else?
What else do I love learning? Like I'm fascinated with like intimate relationships and how they don't work. And it's, really through a journey of going through divorce and, dating for, 5 years and, meeting, I'm just fascinated and love learning. To be honest, dating for 5 years was like therapy, when you just hear about so many different people's stories and, you just, and then you have then all the psychology that I had for myself around that. So yeah, I'm just fascinated with learning, and I'm like the go-to person that if any of my friends have got relationship issues, they know that I'm going to be they're not going to just get me saying, oh, he's just an asshole, or just how dare he, I'll always try to share something that might actually let them look inwards as well to help them. So being maybe a bit harsh, I don't think it's helpful. Just, so yeah, so I think definitely, I don't know, relating, is that, or intimate about.
I'm wondering with some of the things that you mentioned there, you mentioned some self aspects and you mentioned some more external aspects. Is the understanding of intimate relationships, is that more about the business side of things, or is it very much a personal journey about you and your development of?
Yeah, great question, Anita. Thank you. Yeah, with intimate relationships, I guess I love learning about that. And it's because I really want to, with this relationship that I'm in now, coming up 3 years, I'm bringing all of my learnings from my former marriage, which was like 14 years. So I was in that relationship for a long time. And then I dated for about 5 years. So I had lots of like situations, nothing serious, but that was intentional. So I guess I'm now holding this relationship like in this place where we are constantly, we talk about everything and anything. We talk about past relationships, what went wrong, what went right. Like there's no like jealousy issues or anything like that, where we can really have a frank conversation and say, now I can see why that didn't work. And there was part of that was very much me. And I know I don't want to be that way anymore. So, but we're very frank with Richard is my partner. Yeah. So we're always talking about it and learning and trying to, if something doesn't feel right, we'll talk about it. So we're trying to learn each other's, but then I then talk about that and love learning from other people, like what. Yes, I just, and I listen to a lot of, like, if you look at my, like, podcasts and all that stuff, you'll see the theme is very much like a lot of it is relationships. So how would we put that? Is it intimate?
Yeah, I think it's intimate relationships. But the reason why I asked that is because when you were talking about some of that coaching side of things, which is supporting you with your self-discovery, but it's also helping you with other people and helping them with their own self-discovery journey. Is that what that was? Which is because you're learning from other people and you're guiding other people. Is that the point of the love of learning? But from what the way you've described it is that it's more about you're learning through other people and using that to enrich your own personal relationships.
And from past mistakes, like learning
Yeah.
from my
Mm.
past self,
Mm.
on how I do and don't want to show up in a relationship, and learn a lot that even though in a breakup that there could be one person that's kind of, it seems like they've made the call and it's been all them and they're the baddie and all this stuff, that actually there might have been small little things each day that I was bringing or doing that didn't get discussed, like it compounded. So I'm just really like, I'm so conscious now on like there's certain things that I used to just do without thinking about them, but now I'm very conscious and very intentional without like hiding anything or trying to be anything different. So yes, but definitely like I've looked outward as well for support through, the experts, so to speak. I don't know, there's plenty of them out there that I
Well, that's
love.
beautiful. That's lovely. And that's just part of that self-discovery journey. And that seems obviously very important to you.
Yeah.
And we've got one more spot for love of
Yes.
learning.
Oh my goodness, what else do I love learning? Gosh, they all seem really similar. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else that I love learning? Look, at the moment, again, like I am really enjoying learning more about like 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 the health and fitness body. Like I'm just going in a deep dive at the moment, spending a lot of money investing in that, and then trying to understand how to be at optimum with body. And again, it comes back to wanting to enjoy life to a high quality standard, because this is the only body we get. So I've been doing a lot of learning and I do enjoy it. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that's just I love learning. I think I think that's probably it. The health and like I have the PT, so he talks to me. I try and learn. Like I'm not as obsessed about that like as I am some of the other areas, because
Okay. We'll see how things
okay, let's
actually
put, is it
calculate more.
health and it's like health and well-being definitely,
Okay. Awesome.
not so much fitness.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. That's beautiful.
Okay, perfect.
Now I'm going to just take a side as a side note, as I'm learning to understand the meta frame, if we could
Oh,
just
no,
just step out of it for a moment and talk as coaches. Um, the whole visualize and realize part, I'm just curious, what does that encompass?
yeah, good question. Visualize and realize. Is it where you've actually visualized something and then you've realized it, like you've got evidence that it's, because I remember when Rashid was talking through with Anikesh, it was, and have you've visualized something and then it's come to fruition. What has that been? Was it that?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So what are you spending your time on, and it's actually
You've
coming
got
into it.
evidence that
It's actually coming into it. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
awesome. All right. Lovely. Thank you. I just wanted to be 100% sure that I understood what that meta frame is. So let's explore it. So visualize and realize. So what are those things that are consuming your thinking, your time, and mean a lot to you? And through that focused attention are coming into your life, that are being more present in your life.
Definitely, like definitely study. Like I know it's, this is a study forum. Like I've joined Pro Coach, it's 3 years. Every week I'm dedicating a lot of time to this learning, which essentially is study, right? Because I'm going to get an accreditation. Like I never did uni or college, so I'm realizing, I guess, because I've signed up and I've committed and I've booked it in, that is that I can do it. Like I'm going, oh wow, oh, and so that has definitely been something that's slightly surprised me that I've stuck to it.
Mm.
So
The study. So
yeah, the
study.
study and
How's that impacted your everyday, your reality? So the study is the study and the practice of coaching, is that what it is? Like the visualization of building your capacity as a coach, or is it the study elements and how that's creating an impact? Like which, it could be both.
yeah, it probably is a bit of both. I guess what I'm realizing from the visual that I had last year when I took this, venture on, I was like, when am I going to get time? How am I going to do this? Am I going to do it? Am I going to be disciplined enough? Because discipline, I'm like got a lot of balls up in the air and I'm not really a complete finisher. I'm a Gemini. So I feel like I'm often, got something on the go, I get excited and then, something from that pops up and then I'm there. But I feel like I've really stuck to the discipline. So I've realized that I can be disciplined when I really want to, and I prioritize. And I've really enjoyed having, a bit of structure around, well, these certain classes on these times. So I think I've visualized that I needed to do a study component to become accredited for the big picture, which was to do coaching, career coaching. So I guess I wanted initially the accreditation. It was about credibility.
Mm.
And now I'm like 6 months in, I'm like, oh, you've achieved so much, Sarah. You're like 75% through the practitioner, and I'm starting now to look at masters and the pro stuff, and so yeah, so maybe it's the study, but it does support the big picture. And I was doubtful that, am I going to pay all this money? And maybe there is an element that I've paid a lot of money. I'm like, right, well, now I've got to get my money's worth. I don't know.
So if I was to just echo back, um, I think there's quite a few parts here. One of them, perhaps from a visualize, realize, is the using the study and the realization is becoming the accredited coach. And there was another part that you said, which perhaps comes under the other meta frame of evidence of becoming true, which is you mentioned about your prior learning experiences, that the evidence of becoming who you want to be more of is the discipline that you're experiencing through it.
Yeah.
If that's something that you are valuing, is that the outcome of it? Is it discipline? Is it?
Yeah, it definitely maybe is that I've become more disciplined and structured, and that's not something that comes easy to me. I sort of not wing it. I do wing it on certain, like I'm a little bit like lastminute.com, like which isn't good for my son. So I've definitely yes, I'm becoming more disciplined and structured, and I think I've been telling myself the story as well, that I am last minute and a little bit scatty, and that's how people have, also commented. So I've now run with that story, and then I kind of just act into that. But actually what I've realized, which, is that I can be different, and maybe that's just a story that I need to just close the book to. So maybe it's structure and discipline. I visualized that because I knew I had to do this. I keep looking up here because there's my calendar with all of the orange markers for anything to do with this. So so I think I've realized discipline and structure through this study. So the study is the vehicle to what's for me, what I've realized. Maybe that's it.
Well, I was thinking about breaking it up into the visualize and realize is that becoming an accredited coach is the study into, becoming that professional. And then the evidence of becoming true is kind of a consequence of it, which is the discipline and the structure is the evidence of part of what it means to be a successful coach. Maybe that's a personal outcome that is a consequence of it. Let's hold on to that for now.
Are we going to write that down in one of the boxes? Discipline.
I've written it down under evidence of becoming true for now. If we get to that and you go, no, actually there's other things that I feel are more important, we'll cross it off. But I have written it down for now.
Okay. I've got that as well, because I'm just writing down as well.
Awesome.
Something else. Visualize. What have I visualized and realized? Definitely, going back into the relationship. Like, I don't know. Maybe you can help me if I give an example. Like when I knew after about 3 years of being single and dating, okay, I'm ready now. I feel like I'm ready to accept something more serious into my life. I had a couple of situationships, but within those situationships, I really wanted something more. And I didn't really, I was still there was still things where, like, for one guy, we'd make a date, we'd hang out, we'd have the most amazing date. It'd be like boyfriend, girlfriend, but then we wouldn't talk on the phone. And then my girlfriend's like, why don't you just ring Glenn and just have a chat with him overnight? I'm like, oh, but we just don't do that, But then we'd make a date, we'd text and stuff. We'd make a date, we'd catch up, it'd be amazing. And it just was like, it went like this for ages, but there was something blocking me. Like, why can't I just have this conversation? Why can't I just ring him and have a chat? Why does it have to be like this? So there was kind of that. And there was similar things with, I felt like I couldn't actually tell somebody what I needed in a relationship, like my needs. It was blocking. So what I've now realized is that I got to the point where something clicked. And then when I met Richard, I was like, this is who I am. This is what I can bring. This is what I can offer. Because I realized then it's not about what someone can, it's not just about, what you're looking for, your checklist. It's like, how are you going to show up? What value are you going to add? So when I kind of got all of that clear, and I was just like, you know what, if someone, like, they've got to accept all of that. Otherwise we don't even have a foundation. We've got no. So I actually did, with Richard, I was very blunt, and not blunt, but I was really true to myself. So it's that whole true to myself. And I thought, if this isn't, something is not right with him, then it means we either need to work through it or it's not going to work. Whereas with Glenn and the others, I was trying to fit into their, So what I've realized is that I can actually, I don't know, like, show up as my true self and be okay if that is not right for you. Or is that something we can work together with, or is that something that's going to be a deal breaker? Because if it is, I wish you all the best. So I don't know, that I've realized that.
Could the visual be as time from
boundaries? Maybe it's boundaries.
Passed? Is it just boundaries?
No.
Could it be just something a little bit more general, which is visualizing your version of a great relationship, working towards that through your own work discovery experiences?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So that the realization is the fact that through that process you have this wonderful intimate relationship.
Yeah.
So perhaps
yeah, it's through self. It's like really feeling sure with myself, knowing that sometimes it's okay. It like I don't feel rejected really anymore. Like I got to the point where I was like, if someone's going to reject me, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then we're not, it's like the whole avatar thing, like, you know,
Hmm.
if they're not right for you, then you're not going to click. So what would you call that?
I would put that again just under intimate relationships
Yeah, I've
because
realized that I can have a
that is a
real,
focus because we're
yeah.
looking at what you're valuing and you're through your visualization and working towards the realization of an intimate relationship in your life. Even if it wasn't the case, it is what you're focusing on.
Oh,
As
100%.
in, do
It's a
you know what
lot
I
of
mean?
focus.
Even if you hadn't found the successful relationship which you're in, it still is something that you really value and that you would have been working towards. Do you know what I mean
Yeah, and
by
I
that?
didn't have that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I did have a good marriage, but towards the end, there was elements of it. It's a long time, but now I feel like one of like the most, amazing, most, best things in my life is Richard, and our relationship. Of course, Arnie, my son. But that is something I highly value, and we put a lot of it's not by chance. There's a lot of like work that goes in, but it feels natural, but it's very intentional. Like we don't live together, but we want, but we're on the phone a lot. We're together, a fair bit, but we're making really intentional choices to keep it the way we want it to be kept, because we've discussed those standards and boundaries. And so intimate relationship. Okay.
What other things in your life take a lot of focus for you that you've visualized and they're front and center?
Definitely business. So I visualized like last year that I want to, set up a new business. I've put in time, energy, money, lots of thoughts, lots of conversations, lots of learning, so all of those things. And now seeing like this week, I had my first paying client through my coaching business. I sent out 2 invoices. I've got to start with the other one in a few months when she's ready. She's not well at the moment, but I'm like, wow, this week I was like, I've actually done it. Like I've been able to, I've been running a business, but under a group. So I haven't had to do a lot of the things that I'm now doing.
Mm.
And I'm like doing it. And I'm like, oh, so definitely
Definitely the business.
business.
Yeah.
Yeah, business for
Yeah.
sure.
Awesome. And what else?
Business. What else have I visualized and realized? Um, what else what I've got evidence on that's I've thought about and I've done the things and it's come to fruition.
Even if it hasn't necessarily come to fruition, but it's coming, it's something that you focus on, it is part of the reality. Do you know what I mean? Like it is what's taking.
I guess like parenting is absolutely like up there as well. Like, I didn't become a mum until I was 38. And again, wasn't sure if I was cut out for that, or if that was something I was going to be able to cope with, is what I probably would have said. So I now realize, and I do have parenting challenges because I, catastrophize, and I'm a bit of a helicopter, but I'm working through those things. I'm conscious of them, and I'm trying. So, and then I have some successes, and really proud of my son. And I think, ultimately, like, if there's a good kid, it's got to have some influence to be with the people around them, like parents or grandparents and stuff. So parenting I'd have down there for sure.
Beautiful. And something else?
Visualize. I've got I don't know, the business. I know it's coming up all the time, but probably like, I don't know whether health or like fitness, or like more so that I know that I can take action, and I have been doing like putting in better habits around, getting to the gym 3 times a week, and doing some meal prep, and like I know I can do it. Like it's a bit of a bandwagon, like I'm on and off. Not with the gym. The gym has been consistent now for like 10 months. Haven't quite seen full. I have seen some little results, like but it's work in progress.
Takes
But
time.
yeah, this coming year, like I'm literally, it's a big focus. So probably like I've realised, I guess if it's coming back to that I'm capable, and I visualize, like I have like printed out with AI picture of me in gym wear. It looks kind of like me, but I like gave it my exact body type, and it's up here on my visualization board, my vision board. So I am seeing that. When I look at it, I'm like, that looks like a really healthy, fit 50s, late 40s, 50s something. That's what so I am, and I am taking steps to realize that it's possible. So I think I'm going to have it's kind of like fitness and health
Health and fitness.
and
Yeah.
like well-being. Like it's all those, to me, that kind of comes under. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. I've got a couple of minutes. I'm not sure if we'll be able to start
I
on the
think this one is
rest.
money spent, the next one.
It is.
I think that one will be a quick one,
Okay, let's do it.
because you have to actually look at exactly where your money's spent. So the first thing definitely is like my mortgage, because I think that came up with Rashid, and because you kind of think but you have to put it down, right, if that's the most.
It is, but what does that represent, the mortgage?
Oh, for me, that's like security and home. Like I love, love, love my apartment. Like it's beautiful. I feel safe here. I'm quite homebody. So it's kind of like safety and comfort, safety, comfort, security. So do you keep it as mortgage, or do you put it down as those?
I think at this stage, let's put mortgage.
Yeah, we can look at what that represents. At the moment, the other thing I spend most money on has definitely been ICI. Oh my God, I just worked out, like in the last month, I've spent another, like, what was it, $4, $5, $6, $7,000 out of my business account. Thank God it goes through as business, but definitely. So is that study?
Yeah, yeah.
Study learning?
Study. Yeah.
The next thing that is just like groceries and household bills. Like, does that go on there? I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, so is that is it more family? Is that family
Well,
household
it's just
or
things like body corporate, gross, like food shopping, not eating out as much these days. Electricity, like all those monthly, like the council taxes, the water rates, like utilities and groceries, like,
let's call it household.
yeah, household
Household
running.
expenses, yeah. Just the general running of keeping a home.
Yeah, household. Then definitely I do invest a fair bit in my health and fitness. Like that has been like there's 600 a month on PT, then there's about another 150 on the gym. Then I'll go and have like a massage once every couple of weeks, which is like maybe another couple of $100 or something of that. Like that whole well-being, health, and then I've just spent like nearly $2,000 with Everlab to do all these tests. So it's been,
yeah, it's amazing.
Like I feel like so lucky, but I want to. For me, it's really important. I'm like, I'm going to either pay for it now when it's more preventative, or I'm going to pay for it later on when it's like it's a must-have. Like, the way I look at it is, if you were really sick, or someone close to you was really sick, you would like take money off you. You would sell your house. to get them whatever you or them they need. So that's why I'm like, if I can try and make it work now, I will. So health and well-being.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that last what are the other things? I'm just thinking about what comes. Not really having like major holidays at the moment, although last year we did go back to the UK. I know there's like school fees. My son's school fees, they're about 600 a month. Like that's, and then he also does jiu-jitsu, which is $100 a month. So his, would that be some like child?
Yeah.
I'll go back through my actual, because I've been a bit slack recently. I was using an app, where you log everything, but I haven't been doing that as much. But child costs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So your family, your son, very specific for him. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else that's bulk at the moment.
That's all right. Have a think about it, and then
Yeah, I'll
when
run the figures.
when we revisit it all in its entirety,
Yes.
you might like to challenge it. How are you finding this experience so far?
It's very yeah, it's really interesting, and yeah, just interesting and eye-opening, and um yeah, I'm excited by it, because I have had like values done before, like myself, but what I've realized is they were more about the experiential feelings within, like, I like thinking about it as categories.
Mm.
And then, so yeah, I'm finding it'll be interesting to kind of tie it all up to see. I did just think about something just as we're coming up to the end, like on love learning. I think there was one that I've missed that I've been learning a lot about recently, which is business, and about how to set up and run, and like the structures and systems in place that I need to run a business myself. Like, so I don't know whether I need to add that, just put that there somewhere, like even if it's a
Yeah.
numbers, it might
We'll make
end
it
up.
number 6.
Yeah, I just
Business
thought, because when
development.
you talk about learning, like I have been doing, like this week I've had to like look into Zero and do some stuff around that, and then looking at other things to do business, some insurances. So yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Oh my
That's great. We'll
goodness.
add the
Thank
6.
you, Anita.
That's wonderful. I'm really looking forward to exploring the last two with you
Yes.
next time. We can
Yes.
continue the journey. I'm just wondering whether I'm not sure if it's part of this, but if you wanted to share your meta profiling tool outcome, and I can share mine with you, and that way we can have a little look at it as
Yeah.
well.
Should we
I'm
email
not.
it across?
Yeah, yeah, and I'll do the same. And that way, if we get the opportunity to, we can do a bit of an unpack and have a look at how our values align with what we're seeing in that space. And yeah, I'd love to experiment with that and
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. I'd love
have a
to.
play before we do this in a paid way with
Yeah, absolutely.
clients.
I would definitely, because I've agreed, or I've committed to, implementing metadynamics profiling eventually into the business. So I really value that. Thank you so much. Okay, well, I think we've done pretty good. Let's finish up here, but
Did you
I'll
want to
just
make?
also shoot some times across,
Yeah.
or
Do you want to have a look now? Like,
yeah, absolutely. So you thinking about during the week? Some time. Or
I can make different things work.
what about like an hour tomorrow?
Yeah, I've got time tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm just for me the morning is probably not going to be good. So I'm thinking from about any time really from about 1